Yesterday in my Discord, I called a mint of Satoshi Nakamoto. Now, when mempool fees are lower, imagine the only runes that I actually minted is doing 8x's. The only one. And the only runes that I am minting, that I am deciding to mint, is actually the one that's winning on the marketplace. It's actually the one that's probably going to get listed on large exchanges, centralized exchanges as well. It's the one that's actually appealing for the West and for the East as well. The only one. Just sniper shotting here. Mainly because a Chinese guy in Bitcoin Fox recommended it, saying others are too Western. My thesis is that Asia will be doing well in Bitcoin ECA this cycle, and the ticker is quite nice as well. I unfortunately only got 6 batches, so I've done 8x, but I spent like $500 and made 4.2k at the top. I'm thinking on adding much more money into it currently. It's like the constant thought process that I actually have right now. And it's quite interesting that the only rune that I minted is Satoshi Nakamoto, which is top 1 currently, that I actually called. And the second thing that I called are NFTs on Kongs that got top 2 rune. New thing, because Runestone, I think they got number 1, but everyone knew about Runestone, so it was not a good time to buy already. And they're not doing well currently. But the only 2 things that I actually called in my Discord, which are NFTs from Kongs that did 2x right away, that were able to get number 2 rune ever, that would be airdropping this rune next week, and the only other rune I minted myself is in the top with a crazy ticker. It's probably going to be doing very, very well. Some people are saying Satoshi Nakamoto is going to 7 billion and things like that. I do think that short term we might be seeing 1 to 2 billion, and I'm kind of thinking still on what I should be doing currently. Should I be adding more funds into Satoshi Nakamoto at this stage? Maybe even swapping from some things that I hold currently in BTC Echo, just because of the fact that like Satoshi Nakamoto should be a very, very safe pick. And the fact that 20% of the supply is actually being held by the team, exactly the same thing as Not Monkeys had. Exactly the same thing. They were receiving so much FUD for it, yet they've done very, very well. Exactly, I even think that Satoshi Nakamoto might be connected to Not Monkeys in some way. It's a very, very interesting piece of speculation that maybe time will actually unfold. But I know it's hard. I even was not able to mint myself the amount that I wanted to mint, because I wanted to mint way more than 6 batches. You know, just didn't have much time to figure these things out, and just have 4k, could have had 16 and could have done way, way better with it. But we live and we learn, right? And Runes seems like a whale game at this stage, because all this stuff was minting. Whales, they're just minting in the right way. They're paying crazy, crazy money for the transactions. Therefore, most of the stuff that you would probably be minting when mempool is low and when fees are low, it's probably not going to go nowhere. And there are a bunch of people already that are not doing very, very well from the runes that they minted, because they are being minted out and they're just going to 0 right away. So let's talk about next things. Let's talk about what will be happening moving forward. Because a lot of people, they would not want to participate in these runes run and things like that because it's too complex. And portion of them would eventually enter the whole space, and they will just serve as exit liquidity, because FOMO flywheel will just be getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. Because right now at this stage, people that spent $80 to mint 1 batch of Satoshi Nakamoto, they made $400. They made $400 already. But when it actually would be $800, when it would be 5k from $80 initials, this is when the FOMO will eventually kick in. I was doing some whale research today. I will actually share the results of this research tomorrow, and I believe you should definitely press bell button on this channel for tomorrow's video. I think you should definitely do that. Things I found is actually quite interesting. So this guy is most likely the founder of Crazy Ethereum collection with 33 Ethereum floor. And there are a bunch of whales that hold this collection. They're essentially SHIB whales. And they do buy a lot of meme coins, a lot of AI stuff. And I will actually tell you about one thing that they're holding for a lot of time already on tomorrow's video, a Memecoin, that I think you should actually put your notifications on. The guy is saying Memecoins are the new altcoins, ordinals are the new NFTs, AI is the new metaverse. That's very, very interesting. That's something I actually agree with myself as well. Essentially, most performant tokens of my portfolio are actually meme coins, and I was swapping my altcoins into meme coins over the course of the marketplace. I do hold a bunch of ordinal NFTs as well, and I think they will be doing very, very well. There are a bunch of Ethereum people coming into this space, and they should just be appreciated in value. All these NFTs, all these airdrops to NFTs like Quantum Cats, Node Monkeys, Bitcoin Puppets, ordinal Maxi Bees, ordinal Penguins as well, Bitcoin Frogs, they all should be doing quite well. They all should be appreciated in value because of the fact that they're receiving all of these airdrops. And obviously, the more blue chip your collection is, the larger is the chance to actually get an airdrop for all the new things, for all the new stuff that is happening in the ecosystem. Because, for example, I was buying my 5 Prometheus NFTs from the market, right? And if I would actually minted 7 Node Monkeys that I almost minted back in December, and if I would actually split them between 7 different wallets, I would probably get airdrop 7 of them for free instead of me actually spending the money. So I would get exposure while being dead, while doing nothing. That's like the best type, and that's why they cost like 20k, 30k at this stage, because this airdrop utility is actually priced into them. That's very, very important to understand. AI tokens, I'm not participating much, but memes, memes, they will be doing so well. We are so early with our meme coins. But let's actually come back, because I'm kind of jumping from one thing to another. You don't want to participate in runes because it's too complex. You'll probably serve as exit liquidity. If you actually decided to do so, make a decision for yourself that you will not be switching moving forward, that you will not try to participate in runes closer to the end of the whole thing, because the former at that stage would be at the peaks, would be the largest. Like currently, things you hear people speaking about runes, it's not that large, but former closer to the peak, to the local top of runes will be crazy. So if you are deciding not to participate, decide for yourself without actually changing your decision in the process. We definitely see a certain dip in BRC20s and in ordinal NFTs currently as well. Some people are saying that ordinals are dead, like BRC20s are actually dead. I don't think so. I do actually think that once this runes mania will essentially die out, liquidity that people will farm from this casino, from winning in this casino, it will actually circle back into a blue chip ordinal NFTs, puppets, things like that. So we might actually be at a point where if you were thinking on buying puppet, if you're not exposed, Node Monkey, it might be a nice time, because these people farming liquidity on runes, they will eventually use this liquidity to buy more of these assets. Therefore, they will pump the price even higher. Therefore, it would be even harder to buy, because I made the mistake. I was checking out Node Monkeys when they were like at 6, 7k, and I was thinking, man, it's too expensive. I'll probably just wait and buy later. And right now they're 30k, 25, 30k, and I don't have any exposure to Node Monkeys at this stage, despite the fact I actually could have minted them initially. And instead of it, I bought EVLV BRC20 token that went to 0. Very, very interesting, right? And this liquidity should go into these blue chip NFTs, and essentially BRC20 tokens may be connected to these NFTs. Maybe the ones that are blue chip, ones with utility, maybe things like Track, maybe things like Ghosty Cash, right? Because they're actually building something. But I would say that there is a larger chance that this liquidity will flow back into NFTs, into these communities, and rich will continue to actually get richer, because things that people are currently doing with runes, They're pretty much just farming the market. So you have all of these influencers screaming about runes, funneling people into runes as well. And obviously a lot of people don't understand what are they doing. A lot of people are just getting wrecked. Some people will be making money, but most people who are not connected, that don't understand what are they doing, they will just be giving their liquidity away to these larger players on the marketplace. And they will be taking their money and they will probably be buying these blue chip NFTs, because I do think that they view them as a longer term hold, something safe, something they can actually buy and move forward with in this market. And as mentioned several times already, I do expect for Ethereum season to unveil right after that, because we do have Hong Kong accepting Ethereum ETF, which should be launched on 30th, which should be launched at the end of April, 30th of April. And we still have a decision around Ethereum ETF in the US. I don't think they have an option to decline it currently, because China already accepted their Ethereum ETF. So I do expect a surge in Ethereum Memecoins, in Ethereum beta plays, in layer 2s, in things like AVAX, even Solana most likely, because you kind of see that liquidity attention went back from Solana, right? But Solana, you might say that it's also in Ethereum layer 2. At the same time, what you can actually do, you can just stay in line with the things that you know and just plan ahead accordingly. Understanding the liquidity flows, where liquidity will essentially come in after this runes hype. And I already gave you all the answers. It will come into ordinals NFTs. So I think we might be very, very close to the last chance to buy into these like larger blue chip NFTs if you would actually want to get some in the first place, right? Because right now they are all distracted with runes. Once runes will be over, once volumes will went away, they will be repositioned back into their NFTs. And there are a bunch of NFTs people actually. There are like people who trade memes and runes, because runes, they're very, very close to memes. They're also NFT people in the first place. And after that, we'll go into Ethereum, because most of these people, there are actually Ethereum whales. So they're coming from Ethereum. They went initially into ordinals back in December. Ethereum guys with node monkeys, right? And Ethereum is the alma mater. So they would be taking this liquidity and buying back into Ethereum assets. Maybe AI will essentially run as well. I do finally expect AI and gaming to do quite well, quite soon as well, because essentially what Ethereum will start, what Ethereum will surge up, what Ethereum pump will cause, it will essentially cause alt season. A proper alt season that we are so awaiting for so many time. And another argument for this as well is the fact that Bitcoin dominance is at 55 for so much time, and it kind of shows signs of weakness, because what might be happening is that we formed the bottom already. We will pump with Bitcoin to 70, 80k. Runes assets with this pump, they will just go like crazy. After that, liquidity from runes will go to NFT like ordinals NFTs, and we will already be hearing a bunch of news about Ethereum ETF in Asia would already start working. We will start hearing news about Ethereum ETF in the US, and liquidity will start going to Ethereum. Ethereum will essentially pump as well, probably eventually reaching all-time highs, because it's been quite some time. We're waiting for a lot of time already for Ethereum to reach previous all-time highs. And Bitcoin obviously had already done it. And then we will have our alt season with AVAX and Solana doing well. Solana maybe a bit less, but still some liquidity should go into Solana, right? But I would expect AVAX eventually to show something. And AVAX would be the cause of gaming surging up, or gaming just might surging up with alt season caused by Ethereum, and AVAX will be picked up by gaming surging up, right? And then we'll have our alt season in all the memes and things like that. I do think that something like this should be happening, because if you are following the channel for quite some time, you know that I was saying some things that I would be planning to take in a bit of profits on this market around May, June, because the original plan that I actually had is that peak euphoria should be around Ethereum ETF getting approved. And my concept, my thesis for the market is that they will actually approve Ethereum ETF to cause this peak euphoria, to cause this small alt season, because they're planning some type of terrible black swan event in the summer, so they can safely start to print money in the autumn. And it kind of like, it all just plays out very, very nicely. Obviously, we have S&P not doing well quite recently, but I don't think so. I think that markets are forward looking. I think that markets are not pricing in the election like 100% at this stage. And I think we should be surging up this year. Something might be happening maybe this summer, but we will see, because all these like World War III news, as mentioned in the previous videos, they're just getting priced in eventually. And I talked consistently for all this time, for all this deep, that we're not going lower, that the bottom is in. I told you about that in my Twitter several days ago. Altcoins, it's very, very hard for altcoins to see altcoins essentially going down, but who actually buys altcoins at this stage? But at the same time, it's very, very nice to actually be buying altcoins currently, because they're your safer pick at this stage of the market, and they have quite nice prices currently. And we also do have this weekend pump, low volume weekend pump, so it might be something risky, but I think we have 1 week max to crash, to dump the whole thing, because I believe the week after the next one, we should be surging up, we should be pumping, mainly connected with the Ethereum and Bitcoin ETF news and Asia and overall like setup on the market, because alts, they got almost killed already. It's not, they don't have much space to essentially go down, right? Well, this is pretty much it. This is everything I wanted to share. Make sure to turn on your bell notifications for tomorrow's video, and hold your altcoins. Buy if you can. If you have liquidity, you just buy more at this stage and just hold. We're still in PvP type of scenario. I told you about liquidity flows in upcoming 1 to 2 months. I think it might be interesting to take some profits closer to end of June, maybe end of May, because some people, I think, will be selling in May, following this sell in May and go away. But I don't think that we will be going into like large sideways action into summer or dumping into the summer. So depending on how my portfolio will be doing, I might be taking some profits around May, June, but like small chunks. So I would probably just be looking to take my initials out. So several hundreds of thousands of dollars, more than $500,000, right? Thank you very much for watching this video. I will be seeing you tomorrow. Bye bye.